we don't say, I'm a stress coach, I'm a stress coach. It's what you can do. The chiropractor I work with, it's what to do when you're on Zoom all day. Here are 3 stretches that you can do. Like, in other words, be practical and tactical for others.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Why do you think that publicity have changed a lot? Like now, PR, everybody's online. It's not the same reach. I remember before, for example, if you appear in the TV, before it was 2 channels, or you appear in a newspaper or in a magazine. Wow, that was PR was huge. Nowadays, with the evolution of social media, and things have changed. Even you need to have now articles in the real press. The whole attention have been dissipated, and now we have, right, when you can take the thing to write your own article and things like this. So what do you think, what are the pros and cons that you see in the publicity business due the evolution of technology? What challenges have you encountered, and what are the good things about it?
So here's the deal. In my brain and world, publicity is actually multiplied. And we are not talking about social media. And frankly, if you think social media is your publicity, think again, my friends, because it is, more a one-hit wonder, honestly. We don't know of the effects. You can spend a lot of money and not always get the results you want. However, publicity, I said it before, and I'm going to say it again, is the gift that keeps on giving. It is the opportunity to reinvent your message consistently. And frankly, the trust factor is a lot higher because, well, you are quoted. It's earned media, right? So it's very powerful. And I'm going to say that, have there been changes? Yes, but here's the super cool great news. Publicity is actually multiplied. Why is that? Because now there are podcasts, there are blogs, like when I was in Forbes and Inc. magazine, not only was I in the actual magazine, but I've also lived online, and you live on a lot longer, which is nice. So it's kind of double the fun, right? So I think tremendous opportunity has been now that we have an opportunity to double our results, because not only are you in a magazine, let's say, but you're also online. Not only I was recently for World Kindness Day, which is in November, on Fox News. Well, guess what? Not only on Fox News, but then archived through them also. And that's a live-on possibility. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, and I think that being in, if you are in the right moment, in the right time, you can be everywhere, right? I happen to be the first Latin American or Ibero-American Spanish speaker that paid respect to the Queen of England when she died. We were only 20 on the queue, and I was number 20, and it was 20 people when I arrived, and 60 cameras. And out of the I was the only one that speaks Spanish, so it was there all the CNN in Spanish, the America TV in Spanish. There were all the Spanish channels, 1, 2, 3. So my brother coming from Spain, I said, man, there is no channel here in Spain that I put that you are not on the news. And yeah, I say, of course. I was the only one that speaks Spanish when they all arrived, so they need to make the story of me. There are nobody else there, and they need to do the story from the beginning.
And you know what I call that, Harry? It's called use everything you've got, right? So the fact that you just said it, the only Latin speaker, that way you got all the Hispanic media, that way you got a really direct line in. I call that use everything you've got. So if you got anything that helps you stand out, stand apart, be noticed, we want to create all of that. Hispanic Heritage Awareness Month. It's fabulous. This is the kind of things you always want to be utilizing in your publicity. So as you're listening to this, think about what could I be using that's different, that's unique, that's everything I've got, your ethnicity, your religion, all of it is a great
Yeah.
thing to use.
Yeah, and then having a publicist that definitely will help you, right? I have a publicist in London, and it's always calling me, Harry, come here. This is gonna be very good. Come for publicity. Come here. Come very good. So you do having a publicist on your side. It will be very helpful because they are on top. They know what is your company. They know what you do. They know what you represent, and then you can get access to places and to meet people just by being on the space. Now, writing, I'm telling you, because for me, I even my books, I use ghostwriters to write it. I'm not a good writer like you, but the more you write, or the copyright of your articles can have an impact in the way that you use effectively this publicity, and also what type of publication you want to be, because sometimes I'm an advisor to tech companies, and I remember that we were looking at a magazine to do an article with, and the magazine didn't have so much readers, but guess what? The key leaders in the industry, they all were reading that magazine, and can give you like a false number that you say, the readership is not big, or the distribution is only once every month. That's very little. And look, when we look carefully at the magazine and what type of people were reading the magazine, we realize that, wow, this regardless that 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 the that the numbers are low, this is a great place to write an article about our company, and also because it's an article, it's not an advertising, so you get more authority and out of this. So tell us your view in this, how to find the right publication to advertise your business, and what people should be looking at.
So a couple things. One is you want to be looking at what's the sort of powerhouse audience that best serves. And you want that magazine, newspaper, radio, TV station, blogs, podcasts to be oriented to the audience that you serve in a way it's that simple. And then there's might be more general, like you probably want to be on BBC, and we want different Hispanic and Latin media, right? So for you, that'd be appropriate. For others, maybe not. So you want to, again, see how you can use what target market you're up to, who's going to buy your product, who do you serve, and go after that.
Yeah. And also the one discover that we have is that along with this, it goes a concept that has evolved a lot, and like I always said, I have a client that owns 300 supermarket that he told me, Harry, when I started this supermarket and there was only 4 supermarkets, the personal brand was not that important. Becoming a speaker was not that important. You could easily hide behind the company, and that would be amazing, because you see the corporate brand will do everything. Well, today people are looking more who is the entrepreneur behind the business, who is the key person behind this business. So when it comes to personal brand, how you balance out the publicity of the corporate brand versus the publicity of the personal brand of the individual, and what people can do to increase the personal brand.
Well, I believe, it depends what you're after. If you're the CEO of a company and you want name recognition for your brand, great. If you're a speaker, of course you want recognition for your brand. I'm JillLublin.com. I want to be known also as a speaker and trainer, and I do speak and train all over the world with my books, right? But the speaking is first, so we want the personal branding. And so you got to stand out that way. And when you're putting out your publicity, you decide how you want to be billed, right? In other words, are you the CEO? Are you the speaker? Are you the author? If you decide that, before you put things out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that where the other day someone was telling me that basketball player Levi Brown, he had better numbers than Michael Jordan. I had to double check that, and the guy was telling me his numbers are better than Michael Jordan. I'm thinking, okay, in case that his numbers are better, he would say still Michael Jordan will be known as the greatest player, and according to the data that he researched, my colleague said that the Levi Brown, the basketball player, have better numbers than Michael Jordan. Yet, Michael Jordan will be the greatest player of all times. And I was telling him that the reason for that is because one is playing basketball, the other one, along with playing basketball, is developing a personal brand, and also even the shoes have his name, Jordan, and all that publicity, it comes with his name attached. You can see also the Trump Towers, right? Whether you see whether personal brand and corporate brand get a LinkedIn, and you create these spectacular results that you become like this podcast unstoppable. I think that another case is when Michelle Obama, she started to write books, and she has done a great job building her personal brands, and it's a keynote speaker her fees actually is getting to the point, I think, that she has become more famous than him in terms of rate, right?
Well, she did such a good job, with her personal brand and delivering great value, and she's brilliant, that everybody wants her to run for president of the United States. And she's like, no way.
Exactly. You have a big following, right? And
because she's, she has a following because she's branded herself. If you think about this, right? She's not just the wife of the former president. No, she is, and more than the first lady, she's her own brand now.
Absolutely. And that's, some people say it's a brand. I always said authority, and gonna give you authority is the credibility, the publicity, where you appear in the media, how the media can perceive you, and then how clear is your message. Yeah.
Yes.
Keep it short, keep it simple. So a few tips that you can give to the audience how to get clarity in your message.
So I'm really big on get clear on your message, number one. So what does that mean? What the media cares about is what's the main message for them. Like, honestly, they don't care as much about what do you do. They want to know how what you do impacts and affects them. And so one of the things I always recommend, particularly for media, is give the value and benefit. And I'll tell you something, when I wrote Guerrilla Publicity, and we're in our third edition now, I was privileged to talk to media around the world. And, I asked them, what do you love and what do you hate about publicity? And their answers were as varied as we are. But I will tell you, they read about two things, and that is to give value and benefit, right? And so it's not just, here's my business, here's what I do. I like to think about it. What's the problem today? That's what you want to focus on. And you want to speak to that. What's the problem out there? So, for instance, I have a stress coach. Well, guess what's going on in the world? Lots of stress. We want to talk about, here's some ways to deal with stress. And here are some things you can do throughout your day. And we don't say, I'm a stress coach. It's what you can do. The chiropractor I work with, it's what to do when you're on Zoom all day. Here are 3 stretches that you can do. Like, in other words, be practical and tactical for others.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.